incorporate some limit value also for this dimension. Let me show you how exactly and how simply we can do that now. I'll just drop down this and say I want to have a dimensions to be a limit. But just a single click on auto arrange will automatically updates all the dimensions in the drawing on its own, having a proper spacing between them. Fine then, Ashwin, let me have a question for you. Say, for example, how about if you yourself have a dimension made for this drawing? You can quickly see that the 25.5, which is a grayed out, that 25.5 which is grayed out is automatically sits in his position. So even I need not to reorder the later dimensions which I have created in the drawing itself. I think it's a real productivity tool what we have introduced in 2011. And we received a lot of enhancements in terms of a table, where now I can make use of a whole table in which even it is possible for me to define the dual dimensions. Let's say for example, to avoid confusions between the manufacturers and the suppliers, we have introduced having a dual dimensions inside the drawing itself for the whole table. You can have a look into this. That's how we can do that. And also, it's possible to go for combining the same size as well. And also, it is in a single click, in a single right click, I can go for show dual dimensions. Say, how about if you delete some of the holes which is not required here? Say, I just want to delete these 2 rows. And also, let me delete some of the rows in between, which is not required for me.
After deleting, do we need to reorder all these holes?
Of course. I expected this question, but now I can just make use of a single right click and say renumber all tags. That makes the complete reordering on its own and allows me to have no need to go for a changing once again. And also, whenever I used to go for a training, I'll be having a lot of questions from the trainees. Basically, if I make use of this 3D drawing view, I can easily show that, I'll just rotate this model and say we can able to exploit more informations. But I couldn't able to fix the orientation in the desired location. But now we have enhanced this also inside in 2011. Just say OK, so that you can have the desired location orientation as per your requirement here. We have got some more enhancements inside drawing that really helps you to design a more fast and efficient for your design team. As I said earlier, now in 2011, the developments have got these many enhancements where you can add the details like what you have seen on the slide. And also, coming to the global variables, you can see even it is possible for me to configure the global variables along with the shrinkage values and the callouts. That's how, by making use of these powerful enhancements, what we have done in SolidWorks 2011, that really makes your design faster and efficient. Let's see some of the enhancements what we have done that is really required for a manufacturing department.
Kiran, can you just show me the picture I had given you when you had come for the initial demo?
Yeah, yep, this is the one.
This is one of our products, Kiran, and the customers are asking for a lot of variation in this product. It can be the length of it, or maybe the width of it, the height, and even the number of wheels. So is there any way I can link or relate a length dimension along with a feature? Or let's say for a particular value of length, I don't want the feature, or I want the feature to be removed. Is that possible in SolidWorks?
I think we have, that we have a great tool inside SolidWorks that takes care of all these things called equation.
Yes, that's right.
But let me show you what are the new enhancements we have done equation that really helps based on his requirement. Probably to answer this question, you need to look into the DriveWorks Express that is automatically built in SolidWorks now. Say, let me take your problem itself where you have defined. So this is the frame which I've got, and based on the customer requirement, I'll just change the design here. Say the number of paints and the number of wheels required also depends on the load which I've applied here, right?
Yes, that's
so Ashwin, have you made any changes or here?
Yeah, one of the weldment group is left out.
Correct. And also you can see that one more pattern is not linearly spaced. That means whenever I change the configuration or change the values, some of the patterns will not be suppressed on its own. But this is how it is addressed in 2011 by making use of an equation where now it is even possible for me to add some logical condition. Let's take an example of this itself. Say I need to add, it's not very tricky here. Let me minimize this, and let me add an equation here that I need to select this linear pattern which is to be suppressed, but on some condition, right? Say it has to go for a suppression only if this sketch is, say, less than 1000. That means what? That feature has to be suppressed. If this sketch is less than 1000, it's very easy here. Just click on suppress, or it has to be unsuppressed if it is more than that. Just by defining the logical reason here, now let me check some more other equations which I've added here and say, okay, just need to rebuild this, and that's how the model has been configured perfectly.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
Exactly. And also one more thing to be shown here, Ashwin, have you made any changes or observations here? You can see that these are some of the equations which we have got that is having an external link with some text file.
Is it so?
Yes, of course. Let me check all these options and show how exactly some of the equations can be controlled by outside the software by making use of some small program, wherein you can just control or edit the global variable there. That entirely changes or update your complete design here. The main advantage here is I need not to open the entire assembly to see all those changes at the sub-level components. Instead of not opening a complete assembly, also it's possible for me to see how exactly this can be done. Let me take an example of changing that parameter here. Instead of this, I'll say 2400. And I'll make it 4000, because these are the variables which I've mentioned that actually changes the design here. All I need to do here is rebuild once so that the entire assembly will get automatically updated based on the global variable what you change outside the software. That's how we have enhanced equations that really helps for the manufacturing team to release the drawing with various versions of the configuration.